Hi, my name is Bruno Fierens. I'm an engineer working at TMS Software, and I want to thank Embarcadero for inviting me to do this skill sprint today with the title Cross-Platform Access to an Excel File in the Cloud with TMS FireMonkey Components. So what we will do today is create a full cross-platform solution that you can run on Windows, Mac OS X, Android or iOS. This application will allow you to retrieve and update programmatically files that are on the Google Drive. And you will learn how you can manipulate these Excel files, and this manipulation will be done with a grid for FireMonkey. And all this will be achieved with a very little amount of code. What you need to create this sample application is, of course, Delphi XA6, the TMS Cloud Pack for FireMonkey, for which you can see the URL here, and also the TMS pack for FireMonkey. And in this particular sample, you will also need a Google Drive account and create a Google application. To start with, for creating this Google application, you will have to register for a Google Drive application, and you can do this at the following URL. And from there, you retrieve a unique key secret pair for your application. Let's have a look how we do this step by step. So to start with, we will first have to create our Google application, and therefore I went to this URL, console.developers.google.com, where I have here an overview of my projects. If you do not have a project already, you will need to create a new project. And in this new project, you can actually register for your application for having credentials that uniquely define your application and that will allow you to get access to the Google Drive API. So here is a place where you will go and ask and register for your application key and secret that you will need to use. A Google Drive is of course also required, and so here I have for today this folder prepared for this session with a file, an Excel file for which we have a preview here that we will use for this demonstration. So let's move to our Delphi XA6, and we will really start from scratch for this sample application. And so the first thing that we will do is add a component, a non-visual component from the TMS Cloud Pack for FireMonkey that will give us an easy access to Google Drive with this component. Important to notice is also that we do not only have components to access cloud storage of Google Drive, but in fact many other cloud services for cloud storage. So we have here the Cloud Dropbox component, or Box.net is also an alternative service for cloud storage. There's also Microsoft SkyDrive, which is now renamed to LiveDrive, and another cloud storage service that we offer access to is Cloud.bit Casa. So if you have actually written your application for using, for example, Google Drive, you can simply swap the component and use another cloud storage service with just swapping one component and leaving your code as is. So first thing that we will need to do is initialize this component with the Google unique application key and secret that we have retrieved in the step just before. So to do this, we need to initialize the settings, which are under the components property cloud gdrive.app, where we have the properties key and secret. As the key and secret that you receive are actually private keys that you cannot share with other people, I have here create a small ini file with this information so that I can add it like this here to initialize the application key and secret. So the actual key and secret are stored as constants in this file appkey.inc. Another thing that we will first initialize is where our component will store the access token. So you need to realize that after I have retrieved the application key and secret from Google, I have given my application access to the Google Drive API. But the next step is that with this access we actually obtain an access to an actual Google Drive account. So in this case to my personal Google Drive account. To get this access I will receive from Google an access token. And with this access token I will have access to my files on my Google Drive. After retrieval of this access token, it's always interesting to persist this access token so that I do not have to authenticate and authorize again when we use this application another time, and we can so as such have access to the Google Drive without performing this authentication and authorization again. And so as such in this component we have settings for persisting this access token. And for this sample I will use an easy way to do this, and I will persist the access token in a simple ini file. So let's set up the properties correct to persist in an ini file. As you can actually see, I can also persist these settings in the registry or in a database. But for this sample we will do it in an easy way in an ini file. So then we need this application to start doing something, and we will start doing something from a button click that will perform the connection to our Google Drive. And the first step that I will do is actually load any previously obtained access token that I might have. And with these token that I loaded, the first thing I do is perform a validation of this token. And that's why I have the test tokens call. If this call is successful, I can actually move to the step to initialize some things in our application. If it's not successful, then I will need to perform a new authentication and authorization. Of course, the init proc I still need to write it. And let's add this init proc. Let's add it later, because if we do not have a valid access token, we need to perform a new authentication authorization that will show us the Google login screen to perform this. And if we have successfully authenticated and authorized, we will retrieve the access token and we will be notified by the event on received access token. So we need to implement some things in this event. And so the first thing that I will do here is save the token that I have received. On the received access token, I'm sure that our component has successfully received an access token. And next I will do the same kind of initialization. What I will actually do in this initialization is obtain the information from my Google Drive. And to display this information here, I will add a tree view on the form, a tree view that will display what is in our Google Drive. To make it easy, we have actually added a helper procedure in our component that will automatically fill the tree view with the information that was obtained from our Google Drive. So that's our first step in the application. Get access to the Google Drive and display the information that is on Google Drive. It's a good time now to test this application to see if the step so far is working. So let's run this application. What I will actually do is make sure that there is not a previously saved token, so that I'm sure that there won't be any, that I will need to do a new, I delete this previously saved file, that I will do, well, that it will have to do a new authentication and authorization. So when I press connect, there is no previously saved access token, and here I get the screen from Google itself that where I need to accept or authorize that our application that we are writing here will have access to my Google Drive data, and here you are being informed of this. I do not need to log in again on Google because Google here has already saved my personal information in a cookie. It shows what the application will actually do in my language because, okay, it's associated with my Google account, and so I accept that my application will access my Google account. And so here you can see the information that it has retrieved from my Google Drive. So next step, we are going to get access to this file here and show it in a grid. Good, and now it's time to add the code to download the file from Google Drive and then open it up in a grid. And for this demo, we will choose a TMS FireMonkey grid to do this, which is a grid that has a lot of built-in features. It looks very similar to the T-string grid that we are used to in Delphi, but it actually has a ton more features. Another component, a non-visual component that we will use, is a component to perform the import and export of an Excel file in this grid. And we will add two buttons that will actually open and save the Excel file in the grid. So here is our open and save button. Open and save. And the first step to open up this file, we will first search the file on Google Drive, which is a fast and easy way to locate the file, in this case cars.xls on Google Drive. If this file is found, it will return all instances of files found on Google Drive in the Drive collection. As I have only one file in my Google Drive that is named cars.xls, I can use the first item in this collection, and that will be the file that we are looking for. So we can then download this file, and so this file is identified by the first item in the Drive collection. And I instructed to download this file to, we will name it local.xls. Once we have downloaded this file, we can open it up in our grid. And so we set up our non-visual component grid Excel IO. We set it up that it should perform opening in the grid that is on the floor. And after we have set up this, we can perform XLS import of this file local.xls like this. And now let's run this application. We're still connecting with the same access token. Get access to our Google Drive, open Excel file, and as you can see, it now also has imported the cell properties. And now we can go and change a few of these properties. So with this color picker, I can change some cell colors like this, and let's change also a bit alignment of cells to illustrate this, and maybe to make it really clear, some more cells in green. Like this. Okay, now we did a few changes, changed alignment and colors, and we press the save button. It's saved now, and let's verify when we open the browser. And to be sure, we perform a refresh of this page, open up the Excel file in Google Drive, and now we can see here the changes that we have applied via our FireMonkey application. And of course, FireMonkey application is not a real FireMonkey application if we didn't make it really cross-platform. So for this demo, I will now add the OS X target. Your target deploying now targeting the Mac. Okay, here we are. We connect to Google Drive, and as we do not yet have an application access token on the Mac, we of course need to obtain it, and as such authorize this application to get access to my Google Drive account. I accept this, and as you can see, it has retrieved my Google Drive information, and I can open up this Excel file. I can do the same things, exactly the same things, change cell colors, change cell alignment, save this information again in my Google Drive account, and after this I can actually move back to Windows and verify that my changes were applied. And I can see here that my changes have actually been applied. And this brings us to the end and the summary of this presentation, where we have seen how easy it is to use a non-visual component to get access to Google Drive and with similar components to other cloud storage services. We've used the TMS FireMonkey Grid that gives us easy access to a whole range of features. And here we have demonstrated a little bit features of cell formatting and coloring. And we have also demonstrated the use of our non-visual components TMS FMX Excel IO for easy importing and exporting of Excel files in our FireMonkey grids. Some resources: you can download the code of this application that we created in this session via this URL here, and you can download the trial versions of the TMS FireMonkey Cloud Pack and TMS FireMonkey Pack from our website, and that will allow you to recreate the sample that we have demonstrated here today. Full documentation can be found on a page where we have all our manuals for download. And this brings us to the questions and answers part of this session.
Someone who suggested that or is asking whether we add cloud services support in Red Studio in the future, and I just replied that TMS software has great cloud pack that you can use with all our products. And so that sort of reminded me of a question. Can I use the cloud pack on all of the multi-device platforms? On iOS, Android, Windows, and Mac?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Hello?
Yep, I hear you.
Hello?
Yep,
yes, we in the cloud pack, in the cloud pack for FireMonkey, we have meanwhile added support to use all platforms. So you can use it with Windows, Android, iOS, and Mac OS X.
And Jens Fudge made a comment. He said that he highly recommends the TMS components. They're great and the support is outstanding. And I'm re-putting up the link.
Thanks, Jens.
Yeah, I'm putting up the links again. Hopefully it'll show up. I think the great thing is you can use the trial downloads, and all the documentation is online. So you can use the trial to try everything out and read the documentation to see what's going on, and then purchase the components. And people always ask about the sample source code to what everyone shows on skill sprints, and you have a great link there. It's just tmssoftware.com/download/skill-sprint. So the URL is pretty straightforward. I think Alf had a question. Let's see. As I understand it, and you answered it, Alf is asking, in the beginning you define a key for your Google Drive account and thus give all users you share the app with and access to your account on Google. What is needed if you don't want that, but the user should use their own account?
That's exactly what it is designed for, in fact. It might have been confusing that, of course, I used my Google account to register for an application key and secret, and of course that I used my own Google Drive account, but nothing would have prevented me from using a different Google Drive account with the application that I registered for. So if you build some application with a Google key and secret, and you give that application to your customers can use that application to access their Google Drive.
And then Mehdi asked, does it support right-to-left language characters in the Excel component? Anything to that? You answered yes, right?
Well, Excel, the TMS FlexCell, the TMS FlexCell product is available today for VC and for FireMonkey for all targets, Windows, Mac OS X, iOS, and Android. Internally, we handle BD mode characters, but for displaying information, this is a limit of FireMonkey itself, that it can't display it with proper BD formatting. But internally, you can handle, or as it's most of the work that Excel does is non-visual.
Yeah. And I know Mehdi and others have been asking when we'll have BiDi support, and R&D is looking at it, working on it. I don't have a date. I wish I did have a date for you or a roadmap target for you. I'll keep on top of product management and R&D to see if they can give us additional information about their progress. Eduardo has a comment. He gives great congratulations for the Aurelius or Object Relational Mapping ORM product. He's using it very well done and is helping me up front to do great things with my competitors, and works very well on Android as well. And he recommends to everybody the database products from TMS. Oh, I see. John was asking a question whether the cloud pack from TMS is using the REST components or not. Bruno, do you want to tell people how you're using, doing the cloud operations in the component pack? I think you answered you have your own.
We have actually implemented our own HTTPS.
Yep. So John, they've implemented their own layer to get out through all the APIs for all the cloud services. Grigor is asking, can he do 32 and 64-bit with the TMS pack for FireMonkey and work with Excel?
Yeah, we support 32-bit and 64-bit. So if someone encounters a problem with some specific combination, I would say please contact our support.
Okay, everyone, thanks for being with us. And again, great to have everybody with us. Thank you again, Bruno.
Thanks, David.